Hi everyone, welcome to the North Carolina Independent Media Show. My name is Humairia Areefa. It's great to have my lovely audience back after a challenging 2020. In each episode of this show, we bring awesome and talented artists, philanthropists, and anybody who deserves the limelight. Today we have with us Sean Tenedine, who is also a uniquely talented artist. I'll give you an idea why. Now we know people all across the globe learn English as a second language, and artists from Europe, Asia, and Africa, whose first language is not English, also learn English for the love of English movies, music, and of course Hollywood. But Sean is just the opposite. He loves Bollywood. And before I bore you any further with my talk, let's just go to Sean. Hi, Sean. Welcome to the North Carolina Independent Media Show.
Hi, Humairia. Thank you very much for having me here. Bahut dhanyavad.
So let me say, I'm glad I know that we are, have a talented artist like you here because, it's just like, I think there's something audience will feel great knowing about you. So you currently live in North Carolina and you learn acting in college?
Yep, that's right. I am living in North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte and Concord right now. And I graduated college back in last December in 2020. And I went to the University of New Hampshire and I studied acting and directing there. And since then, I actually initially started in anthropology because I had this huge interest in learning about different cultures. And by my junior year, back in 2018, started that fall semester in 2018, I just became more passionate and I wanted to take on acting. Partly I would actually owe it to, along with Hindi, I also learned Arabic back in college for about a couple of years. Unfortunately, they didn't offer Hindi or Urdu, but Arabic was on my list as well. And I figured the pronunciation would help a lot with Urdu and Hindi, and even with Urdu or Farsi, for example, the alphabet is similar with the script and pronunciations are very similar too there. So, but the thing was with Arabic, as things got harder each year, we had these midterm or final exams where we would have to write out our own paper for like a page or 2 pages. And I just took that as an opportunity to think of it like doing a monologue in a way, because I also did a couple classes in high school for acting, but so I kind of took a little bit from what I learned then and applied it there because the professor had us recite our papers like from memory. We couldn't just hold the paper and read it in Arabic in front of the class like that. So I just, wrote some comedic stories in Arabic that were mostly true. But like how one time my parents went to Italy for their anniversary without me, and they know how much I wanted to go there. And so I just ranted about that in Arabic in front of the class, and, they loved it. My professor said how that was, just impressive how I was able to, have fun with it and sort of make it my own and be theatrical with it. That's what she said. Like I was very theatrical with it. And so when I thought of that, having that experience, I thought, you know what, given how much I like Bollywood, and I've been interested in Bollywood for 5 or 6 years, but given how much I was passionate about it, I figure, you know what, why not switch to acting and directing and then geared towards to like pursue work in Bollywood after I graduate college. So yeah, that's one of that. I mean, that's only one of the many reasons why I am where I am right now and how I came to that decision. But
Oh, yeah.
I know it's a lie. It's like all over the place. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I'm just glad you love, Bollywood music.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. And not just, there are some like newer songs like actually this one isn't that new, but it's still like early 2000s. The song Khuda Jane?
Mm-hmm.
सजदे में यूं ही झुकता हूँ तुम पे ही आके रुकता हूँ क्या ये सबको होता है like
Oh,
that by
I love
KK.
this
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Love that song.
Huh. Huh, huh. And then it goes, Humko kya lena hai sabse tumse. Oh, it's just so catchy. I know that was like Deepika's, that was like Shilpa Rao's part, but I know, but like, oh my gosh, such a catchy song. Even the other week, yeah, last week actually, I I posted a reel on my Instagram about that. Like I was just jamming out to it in my car driving, but like such a good name. And then, you know, I just went really silly when it came to Shilpa Rao's part and just like jamming out to it. And when I put it on my story, I mentioned her in it. And then she, like 5 minutes later, she reposted it on her story and said it was really sweet. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was just, kya baat hai, Areefa. That was just like amazing. I had no idea she would do it and
Oh,
do
that
something
is
like
like so
that.
great. So when a big artist appreciates your work and
Mm.
reposting anything by someone famous, that is like something to feel very proud about. I remember like one Hollywood director, like he liked one of my posts on Instagram. I was like, oh, I was at cloud nine. The rest of the week, I was
Huh.
like,
It
okay,
feels amazing,
now I am like,
yeah.
I was feeling like I was walking on red carpet in the Oscars.
That's awesome though.
So yes, social media is a great way to connect with people. So
Huh.
now tell
But
us.
I'm sorry to also answer your question from before. I was saying, I was gonna say, yeah, before I went into singing that, sorry,
Mhm.
maaf karo. I
Sure,
was
sure.
gonna say like I like modern Bollywood songs like that, but I think what surprises people a lot is when I say I like evergreen songs, by
Mhm.
like Kishore Da or Muhammad Rafi Saab, like
Mhm.
Chura Liya,
Oh yes.
Chura Liya hai tumne jo dil ko नजर नहीं छुड़ाना सनम बदल के मेरी तुम जिंदगानी कहीं बदल ना जाना सनम ले लिया दिल हाय मेरा दिल हाय दिल लेकर मुझको ना बहलाना चुरा लिया है तुमने जो दिल को नजर नहीं झुराना सनम.
Well,
Mhm.
the
I love
audience.
how he does that
Yeah,
at
you
the end
just
of
told
his
the
songs.
audience
He
heart. I
always
think you just told the audience heart by that song right there.
uh-huh.
They're gonna say "Chura liya hai dil." They're gonna say "Chura liya hai dil."
Okay.
Yes, the
Yeah.
audience. You
Gosh.
just told the audience heart.
Oh man,
So,
what a catchy song right there.
yes, it
Uh,
was. It is. I mean, one of
uh-huh.
my mom's favorite song, and lots of my
Huh?
aunts loved that song. It was like
Yep.
their song growing up. It was their one of their favorite songs growing up.
That's
Okay.
awesome, huh? One of my
Yes,
aunties showed it to me too.
yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
yeah, meri dost ki ma, but yeah, I consider her an auntie to me. So yeah. Huh.
It was their songs. It was one of their
Huh.
favorite songs growing up. And you can ask any millennial or any Gen Z, and they're gonna tell you, like their moms, their aunties grew up with their song. Like it was their romantic song.
And they probably
Probably
still
one of the
play it in the
pickup
house.
lines. One of the pickup
Yeah,
lines from their future husband.
yeah, that's great.
Yes. Now, tell us about your special respect for Amir Khan and like some of the Bollywood favorite Bollywood actors.
Yeah, Amir Khan. I mean, I really admire his ethic, like his work ethic, his approach to acting and preparing for roles. How dedicated and disciplined he can be. Um, and even when like in Bengal, like it was just amazing to me how he prepped to be overweight for that part when he was playing his character at the older age, and then after filming all those scenes when he's playing that character older, then he goes back to the gym and then like loses all that weight and gets like even bigger than he was before he started gaining the weight. And like that amazes me as well. But even when in Lagan, I found out that he because that was the first film that he produced, he didn't have time to prep for that role because of all the time consuming, was it time consuming like jobs he had and commitments he had to make as a producer, being a producer. So he didn't have time to like prep for his role acting in that film, but he still did a great job regardless. When, if you've seen Lagan, but even that, like his, he just has I admire his skill and his work ethic. And even with the film Pique, like, yeah, I think he spent like, I don't know, more than a year preparing for that role. And I think he had like the bond, right? Isn't that the bond leaves that he would keep eating
Yes.
throughout it? Yeah, he had
Yes.
like a bond stand on the set. So he would like eat like thousands of those. And just to get get the mouth, like the right color for that character. It was just like crazy, the kinds of things the lengths that he'll go to really pleasantly surprised me. But speaking of BK, like I had this one idea with that for the sequel, because in BK2, I know it's going to star Ranbir Kapoor, but at the very end of the first film, they teased that, with BK coming back and then Ranbir Kapoor's character being introduced as, allegedly the new main character for the sequel, So I was wondering, given how they're aliens from a whole nother planet that have people, that have people that look like they're from India on that planet, logically, they must have people that look like me from that planet as well. And so I thought, it would be awesome if somehow Rajkumar Hirani, sir, the director of the film, like somehow, cast me in the film in the second one to play like an alien from their planet as well, but like speaking Hindi, and people would assume I'm just, some tourist, clueless tourist or someone from Europe or England or America. And, there could be some like kinds of perspectives that they could tackle in the film, like it through comedic lens, I feel. Because I feel the way they did that in the first film with PK's character, with how funny he was and, how he, kind of got things misconstrued. And that, I think, would be really a great vehicle to show. Comedy would be a great vehicle in that way to tackle certain kinds of social issues or perspectives that people have of, foreigners in India or outside of India in general, or, when I guess foreigners are in India, like what those foreigners think, and, just vice versa like that. I think there could be a lot of funny opportunities like that. And, I would love to be in BK2 as that kind of character. So sorry to go off on that tangent there.
He has diversity, like aliens can have diversity also, like, because I would love to see like, they have like a Chinese from China, from some, it'd be like someone from different ethnicities would come as like, okay, so they'll, there'll be like I could imagine them doing either PK2 or PK3 even when they make it, they're they might be doing something like, from different ethnic groups, like, okay, they have aliens from different colors and origins too. So they'll be like, okay, hey, the people look like that, to us, there'll be like a Chinese alien, there'll be like a Russian alien, everything. There'll be like really cool idea. I could see that something like that, maybe in PK3 or something, maybe, if not PK2, maybe PK3. Maybe you just gave him the idea.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I did.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, that would just be amesing. But sorry, yes, I went off on like Amir Khan and all that stuff. But other actors, Hena, is that the question? Other actors I like.
Right.
I mean, of course, I like, the other more, kind of famous actors that people know. Shah Rukh Khan, like he's amazing in what he does with romance and drama in some of his films. Yeah, he just does. I admire him for that. Like he's just amazing at that, being, playing the very romantic kind of role. And otherwise, I would say Hrithik Roshan. I would say, yeah, I like his acting as well. Like he did really well in Guzarish. I saw that
Oh,
again
yes.
for the second time the other day. I was just like, dang. Aishwarya Rai, Bachchan as well in that. So Aishwarya Rai, Madhuri Dixit, um, Kajol. Like
Mhm.
I like, yeah, Kajol I really like because she's very good I think at both like comedic roles and serious. Like I
Mhm.
really like how expressive in kind of animated in a funny way that she could be in her films. Like her older ones, like in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, K3G, you know. Um, who else would I say? Oh, but actually, Hrithik Roshan in a way is also an inspiration to me as a dancer because I've had this long story short, I've had this spinal injury for a few years.
Mhm.
And like just the start of this year, back in January or February, I started to be able to physically dance again comfortably enough and without much any pain at all.
Mhm.
So I found out though that Hrithik Roshan has had a similar kind of injury in his
Mhm.
spine since he was around my age, like around 23,
Mhm.
24 years old. And he's been
Mhm.
going his whole career. Like I can't imagine just, you know, all the dances. I haven't seen all of his dances, but the ones that I have so far, just, I don't know how he was able to withstand those kinds of moves and those, my gosh, just like that whole time.
Yes.
He's almost 50 now. I think he's like
Yes.
47, 48. Like that's crazy. That's amazing to me. But that's, yeah, also inspiring to me, motivating to me. Like he can do it at his age still now,
Mhm.
then that's, yeah, I
Yeah,
should
the
be
way they
able to do it.
dance, like, even in their 50s, the way they dance, we would be like thinking like, oh my God,
Yeah.
they're
Like in
dancing.
JJ Shiva Shankar that he did
Uh,
like what 2 years ago or so. I don't know
mhm.
how he, man, I don't know how he was able to do that because that was so fast and like quick movements. And then that was when I found out because he did a little like documentary about that. And that's when he brought up, oh, I've had this spinal injury since I was, 23, 24 years old. I'm like,
Mhm.
dang, that's insane. And he's still at it. And he's still doing
Yes.
that. He's still doing dances like that. It's amazing.
Yes. I think
Huh.
they'll be dancing in their 60s too. I mean, that's the way they're
Huh.
doing.
Yeah, yeah. You're
I
probably
mean,
right.
and they take very well care, good care of themselves. It seems like,
Mhm.
because during some of my mom's favorite actors, they got, I mean, they stopped dancing well, like when they're in their 40s. I mean, I was like, okay, that guy is like 42 in this movie. I mean, and then my mom was like, yeah, he is 42. And I was like, why does he look 62? So yes, it was during those times, but now I think they're pretty. Dance has become a major part of Bollywood, especially for the actors too. Earlier, it used to be emphasized on actresses a lot. Now it's on actors too, who emphasize a lot of dancing as
Mhm.
part of the movie, as part of their skills. So they are keeping themselves pretty fit.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's more of a requirement for them nowadays. Yeah, you're right.
it
Mm.
is all in one.
Huh, huh. Of course. Um, I was
Which you
thinking
are doing.
actually,
It's
oh
like that
sorry.
you're doing dancing, acting, and singing. So you're the
Huh, huh.
perfect, you have the perfect mix right now.
Huh,
Talent.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, I would love because like I would love if I, were to be in any kind of Bollywood film, I would hope that it would be kind of open for me, an open possibility for me to also sing for
Mhm.
whatever role I would be in if, my character has a
Mhm.
feature in a song or a number like that. But otherwise, I wouldn't have any issue with having to lip sync some song for that. I don't know, Sonu Nigam sings or Arjit Singh, Atif Aslam. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on Udit Narayan. I love his songs and his voice. He just sounds like so
Mhm.
smooth to me. Like if anyone sees my Instagram account, like they'll probably notice I've sung quite a few of Udit Narayan's songs like that. But yeah, because he just sounds so smooth and like suave, and I love like singing because of that energy he has about him. I love singing to his songs like that. Huh. But yeah, otherwise leave it open for me to sing for myself. Maybe that would be
Yeah,
cool too.
but you're thinking, because Bollywood actors I've seen, they switch sometimes between being a playback singer. Sometimes they do it for, I guess for the fun and also to show off their talent that they can sing too. Because since sometimes they sing in their own movies, and most of the time it's lip syncing because I guess they assume the producer is going to, gonna rely on them too much at the singing, and they cannot, because it's a whole movie. So I've seen them switch sometimes, switch between being a playback singer, not switch, do both at the same time, to be a playback singer and also, be an actor throughout the movie. So they're multitasking too sometimes. So it's quite, it's I guess the more talent, more they can multitask these days, the more like employable, I guess they call it, employable in Bollywood right now. I guess it just shows off. Yes, I mean, in general, I would like to see, as I'm going back, I would love to see, I'm just saying it to anybody who's any Bollywood producer and a Hollywood producer, whoever is going to be watching this, hopefully there will be more collaboration between Hollywood and Bollywood in the future, or more South Asian countries, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka. I'd like to see more collaboration between, South Asian countries and Asian countries, between Bollywood, and Hollywood and all of those, I mean, we do have, as I was saying, like when I was talking to you a few days back, we have Katrina Kaif, who's half white, and she learned Hindi/Urdu, and I mean, I'd love to see more male actors, do the same, and white male actors or half white male actors do the same. That'd be really fun. Because I think the women audience would love that.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
I totally agree.
Totally. It's because I mean, there should be, that I can see the women audience loving that. It's just more, I really think there should be more, collaboration between Hollywood and Bollywood.
Definitely, because I feel like with that, it just, I agree with everything you're saying, and it just would be so unique. Because I feel, I know most of my friends, my Desi friends, they, most of them, I would say, they grew up and were raised in America, or, a few of them were probably raised in India for about 10 years or so, and then came over here. But what they all have in common is they really like Bollywood, and then they also really like Hollywood, especially how, with, again, with comedy, like how, the different styles of comedy there can be, from like kind of American funny, and then what India thinks is funny, and I think that would be just really cool to combine them and, see what would happen in those kinds of collaborations. And it wouldn't, I think the collaborations, don't have to think just, we can only do big Bollywood, musical, the typical kind of Bollywood film formula, with all the music numbers and dances and lip syncing. No, it doesn't have to be like that. I don't see why not, like they do films on Amazon Prime or Netflix, even series like that are more serious drama that remind me a lot of like some serious like American or more Western dramas I've seen. Like have you seen Sacred Games, starring Nawazuddin Siddiqui and Radhika Apte and Saif Ali Khan? It's called Sacred Games.
I think I might have. It wasn't. I think it was an older. It's an older movie, isn't it? Like I think
it's a series. It's a it's
a
relatively new show on Netflix.
It's this. Yeah, it's the show. Right. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of it. Then I mean, I was like thinking, it would be. I mean, that's when I was started thinking, with the English title of the movie. It would be, maybe they could introduce more, because I mean, they make a lot of detective movies and movies on Prime and stuff like. But something I feel was missing, was like maybe they could bring in more international actors.
That's what I'm saying, for something like that,
because more international actors, because otherwise it becomes little, like same kind of theme, a little bit too much. I mean, because we see a lot of crime movies in Bollywood, and so, but it'd be
Yes.
really great that if they start bringing in more international actors, then that would be really cool. I know it'd probably be a little, I mean, it doesn't have to be over budget, or they don't have to bring, Jackie Chan, or they don't have
Yeah.
to bring in, Arnold Schwarzenegger or something,
Mm.
but they could still bring in, I don't know, like freelance actors, or, or freelance actors from Hollywood, or, who are just starting or
Huh,
something.
huh.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like kind of
so
where I fall in
yes, exactly,
in that
exactly. So
sense.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
it would be something more exciting if they start bringing in more, like, and not just like a side character. Like they could, because there's sometimes they have like background actors and stuff like that, but they
Hmm.
could introduce like a major character, because I think in those situations we would also see more friendship develop between Bollywood and Hollywood, and in the world, in the countries of the world in general, because I mean,
Huh.
media in general can create friendship between countries,
Hmm.
because I mean, even countries that might be at war with us right now, was, they would recognize a lot of Hollywood actors, and they would just embrace them even if they go there. Like, I think somebody was uh, saying, one of the actors, I don't remember whom, that he just went there and didn't care about there was a war going on. They didn't care, just were so much in love with a Hollywood star. They just
Hmm.
forgot, he did,
Yeah.
there was a war there going on. So I
Huh.
mean, it's just, I mean, media, art, it just creates a lot of friendship, and when
Hmm.
you introduce diversity in art, and
Huh. Huh. Huh.
so
Yeah.
yes,
Totally agree. Again, I totally agree with what you're saying.
you know
Because yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like you were saying, oh, you don't need to have like these other bigger, like more widely known Hollywood actors like
right.
Schwarzenegger, Jackie Chan.
Mhm.
Similarly, likewise, you don't need, to have people performing with in those big, budget blockbuster Bollywood films like Shah Rukh
Mhm.
Khan, Amir
Mhm.
Khan, Salman Khan. You don't need, it doesn't need to be like that.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
why with, something kind of like more small scale, like the Sacred Games show, or even any of those kinds of Bollywood Prime, Amazon Prime, or Netflix films or shows, like that's like a great way to just kind of introduce people to those kinds of and start those kinds of collaborations, especially with those kinds of actors too, because they're more, um, like I said, yeah, Nawazuddin Siddiqui and Radhika Apte, like they've done a lot of stuff with those kinds of production companies, Netflix and Prime, and
Right.
they're more
They
like
have done a
on
lot
the
of
serious
independent
side. Like
films.
they're not like the typical kind of Bollywood actor.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like people don't really, when they think of Bollywood, they think of the music and
The
all the big
cuts.
dances and sets and all how colorful it is, and but it's not all that. So that's why I feel, yeah, like what you're saying, it could be, it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be that. It could be there are so many other opportunities like that, and personally, those kinds of two actors, that would just be awesome to work with them as well.
Mhm.
Radhika Apte and Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that would be awesome. Then like other like comedic kind of funny actors I like that I guess like, yeah, not a lot of people know too much or too well would be like Anupam Kher. Like you've
Mhm.
probably seen him in DDLJ. He played the
Mhm.
father. Yeah, he played his father, and in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and he's
Right.
just I love how like funny he can be
Mhm.
and expressive. Or even similarly, Johnny Lever,
Right.
or even his Johnny Lever's daughter, Jamie Lever. She's like
Yes,
doing
she is
all
in
these funny
comedy.
reels and videos on Instagram. She's amazing. Her
Yeah.
expressions, like
Yeah.
impersonations, just so funny. Yeah.
He has got the good
Uh,
genes from her dad.
Haha, yeah, the
Yes,
eyes too. The
the
eyes.
comedic
Oh
genes,
my god.
the features, and also got the comedic genes too. Like in her DNA. She just,
Yes.
I'm glad she got that comedic genes from, the comedic genes from
Hmm.
her dad. So I mean, that's a
Uh,
gift right there. So yeah, I mean,
uh,
totally. It seem that it doesn't have to be the cons. It can be, like other like other actors too, that they can make Netflix and other independent like streaming services. They can make Amazon, Netflix. They can make
huh.
collaboration between with the Hollywood, Bollywood actors and whatnot. Is, I mean, I just see media and art as a big vehicle between creating friendship through diversity. So that is
Hmm.
is something we can work more on. I guess world production studios can work more on.
Huh.
Now, it's a bit off topic, but still, like, I just want to give an idea about people, like, what a nice person you are. Like, you were mentioning something about donating hair.
Yeah. I remember, yeah, like the first time we video called, that's right. You said
Yeah.
like it was funny. I'm surprised you even remembered actually, because
Right.
it was like right towards the end of the call, we were about to say goodbye, and then you said something about like a friend of yours was going her
Yes.
she grew her hair out and then she shaved it to donate
Right.
for
Right.
cancer
You
patients,
did.
like
You
to that
did.
kind of donation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm that's what I'm doing right now, because I've been since the past almost 2 years, since I got out of the Air Force back in December 2019.
Mhm.
I served in the Air Force, particularly the Air
I
National
know that.
Guard throughout college, But so because we couldn't have our hair this long, so I was like, I got out, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe just grow it long once in my life, just to say I did it, kind of thing. And yeah, after another, I guess I'll wait another year or two from now
Mhm.
to keep growing it out, and then yes, I'll shave my head and do the donation to charity for the cancer patients, like that.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, my way of thinking, I think of it like, okay, if I just grow it down to like here or something, that would give someone a lot to work with at that
Like,
length,
you can grow it out like
yeah.
to the waist, or maybe
Oh
to
my
the
gosh, I don't
waistline.
know if I'd be able I don't know about
Yeah, just
that.
give me some ideas.
Yeah, that is an idea, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
just
my
give me
gosh,
some
it's
ideas.
like it's taught me a
It's
lot
a lot to
too, the
take
hair
care of,
care.
though.
And what's that?
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot to take care of, though. Like the
Yes,
long
exactly.
hair. Yes,
Oh
because
my gosh.
long hair. My niece has the really long hair. I don't know how she takes care of it. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
have wavy slash a little bit curly, so it's like, I mean,
Huh.
it
Yeah, we
doesn't grow
kind of
up.
have the similar hair type.
Yes, we do
Yeah,
have.
like
That's
if it gets
why.
really hot and humid, does
Yes,
yours
it's
feel
hot
like
and
what?
humid, and
Huh?
then
Mhm.
yes, it's hot and humid, and
Mhm.
it's not extremely curly, and it's not extremely wavy, but it's just right in between. Very nice hair.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's a very pretty hair, I should
Uh-huh.
say,
Yeah,
but
I know what you
it
mean.
takes longer to grow, and then if it does grow, it gets very hot. I mean, it gets like
Mm.
it gets hot, so it's a good idea to chop it off once it starts
Yeah, yeah.
growing like beyond your shoulder length, like
Huh.
it starts getting to your waistline or something. So
Acha.
so it's
Understood.
so so now before, I guess, like, before wrap this up, let's ask more about your family. You have like
Mm.
one a sibling.
Yes, I have only one sibling. My sister, she's older than me by about 4 years or so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then yes, of course, my mother, my father, we all live in the same house with our dog,
Mm-hmm.
named Harper. So if anyone sees any of my Instagram videos or TikToks, they'll probably see me doing something funny, speaking in Hindi to my dog and seeing how she reacts. How Harper reacts, huh? But she's my sister rescued her about a few years ago, and she's like a mixed terrier, huh? So she's pretty choti, huh?
Oh,
Huh.
छोटी सी
Yeah,
छोटी सी
choti
we call it
see.
छोटी सी नन्ही सी जान.
Huh. Yeah,
Yes.
but yes, that's my family. Like we all live in the same house right now.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a
Mhm.
shared little छोटी सी जान.
Huh.
Very सी जान. Very सी जान.
Hanji.
So she gets a lot. Is it she or he?
Harper, yes, she's a she.
Oh,
She's
okay,
a
yes.
big,
She.
big lap dog. Like
Oh, she's
loves,
spoiled probably too, so she gets all the
huh,
attention. Hmm.
huh. She's definitely an only child. Yes,
Yes, I
I'll
can
say
see
that
that.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like
Yeah.
spoiled
She
right
loves
there.
all the attention. Yes.
Yeah, I have a pet squirrel and it's like spoiled. I mean, right now.
What?
Yeah, really, I have a pet
Yeah, you
squirrel.
have a
Yeah, I should. Sean, I'm gonna show you my pet squirrel when you come to Raleigh. and it will eat. It will eat 15 peanuts and probably just get into your car and go to Charlotte or something. And if you want to, I mean, he will be like, take me with you. He's like pretty domesticated. Right.
Wow, that's amazing. How did you get a pet squirrel? Like,
You know, that's a really cool story, you know, because what happened was like my cat was stolen. That's a whole different story. My cat was stolen when I was in UNCG by my neighbor.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Yeah.
Yes, it was sad. And then, I mean, she hated all animals. I mean,
Oh yeah, she didn't like other cats even.
No, she doesn't like any animals.
Gotcha.
She just, I mean, she doesn't like any pets or any. It was an outdoor
More of a
cat.
people
We used to
person.
let it out, you know, of the house once a while, and so it used to go sometimes strolling around, you know, neighbor's house, and she didn't like it going to the house and eating her grass probably, or something, you know. So you know, she was today. You know, she was nagging, and why does my cat go there or something? And 2 days later, she was gone, and it was such a beautiful fluffy cat. I still made it, you know, I still miss it. So after that, I kind of, you know, decided to feed get something that would not be like, you know, bothering my neighbors too much, or up until, you know, and also you never know, like depending whom I live with in the future, he might have, you know, my spouse, he might be allergic to something, so I have to
The
feed
cat
all
hair
the
or
time.
something. Yeah, about it. Might have
So,
allergies, huh? My
yeah.
father has allergies with like cat hair.
Right, right. I mean,
Yeah,
fortunately, my closest friends, most of them do not have any cat allergies or dog allergies or something like that. You know, so then I decided to start feeding, you know, squirrels when I moved to Raleigh from Greensboro, and interestingly, it didn't like first that it was like surprised. I feed squirrels, and then. I mean, and lots, and also birds started coming too. But there was
right.
one specific squirrel who just noticed me from its tree. Yes, and then it started following me, and I was like, then after that, it became a very bonding situation. I every time I go get out of the door, it comes to me, and just like, you know, I just feed it whenever it comes, and interestingly, other squirrels are jealous of it, and it's a very nice sweet squirrel. It's a very nice sweet squirrel.
Wow.
It's a very nice girl, and whenever any of my friends come, I tell them like, you stand with me, it will not be afraid of you. Yes, it will not be afraid of you. You just have to feed it peanuts, and then it will be very happy.
Okay. So I guess peanuts is its favorite snack.
Some of my squirrel videos actually on my TikTok. Check that out. Yes, it's the same Instagram handle. I do the same thing.
Cha.
Yeah, I have two TikTok accounts. One is new, the other is a little older. I just started doing TikTok a couple of months back, but because I just noticed, like, you know, during the pandemic, especially, TikTok grew very popular. And then that's when I started showing, because I am a little shy about doing dance videos. So I was like, I'm gonna make my squirrel do all the dancing. So it comes to me, and but yeah, I'm getting better at like, you know, hand dancing, I should say.
Like, that's good.
Maybe you should teach me one of those days how to dance, like, and
yeah, maybe some really good, like, nice song, like you know, Ye Ladka Hai Ala from KCG.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Mano ki saheli.
Like, right, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that song totally fits, totally suited for me. I'm like, dancing. Yes, I was like, yes, I was. I was like, always like, I was like, oh, how am I as a dancer? Maybe. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'll stick behind the camera right now before I get better at dancing.
No, I get, it takes practice.
Yes,
So
it's like
that's like I get so nervous about doing it too, but like what helps me so much is the practicing, because it's like in my mind I'm like, I would not go out, a bunch of people, you know, on the internet, TikTok and Insta, I would not post this if I wasn't like comfortable enough with it,
No,
and like I did all that preparation.
I mean, yes, I mean, totally. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad TikTok exists because I mean, it's encouraging people to be more open about their skills, which is like really great. Is I mean, it's many ways. It also, I guess, I mean, I have seen, at least dancing wise, I have seen the audience more accepting than
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's very big on TikTok.
Yeah, it's more accepting than Facebook in some ways. Not, you know, Facebook has many other talents, of course, like groups and you know, and job finding and all that stuff, but connecting with people. But also TikTok, you know, dancing wise, TikTok is a very versatile area, and anybody who can dance a little bit, TikTok encourages that, and people are really accepting. I mean, there are always going to be this one or a few trolls, which you cannot help, but in general,
they're
TikTok
always
is more
there.
accepting.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's always going to be people that troll like
Yes,
that and stuff.
negative people.
So I guess like that gives me a little bit personal, like personally a bit of like stage fright, a little bit like, oh, there's going to be someone that hates this, but you know, otherwise I always feel like a little bit of like nervousness. Even when I was in college and I would do the dances and at Diwali events or Garba, like I always had the stage fright, but I'm like, I prepared enough, I can do this, just go. But you're right, like TikTok is very accepting of a lot of different things. Even like you're saying, with if you did TikToks with your squirrel, honestly, that would get you so many followers. I'm telling you. Like people,
right
they
now, you
record,
know,
they
I
have
mean,
pet monkeys, and they just record the pet monkey like just jumping around the whole room.
yeah,
And
9
that's
or
it. And it gets
something,
like millions of views.
Junior 9 or something. Yeah, those guys like pit monkeys. Oh my God, they're. I mean, yeah, I have to get Po. His name is Po, by the way. I have to get. Yeah, Puyoe, Po, like the poet. Yeah, yeah. So that's his name. So yeah, so you know,
the
I have to.
squirrel. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so I have to get him. No, it's like we can't. I think I'm talking about bragging about Poe right now.
It's okay. It's not everyone has a pet squirrel, so I think you're allowed to. Yeah.
Yes.
But what does your mother think though? Sorry to interrupt, but because I know like most of my Desi friends, they said like their parents, their families would never let them even have like a cat or a dog, like no pets no pets allowed at all. So I'm just like,
actually, my
how do you have a
mom
squirrel?
grew up with a lot of cats. I mean,
Oh,
she
really?
lots of cats.
Okay.
Oh, and she grew up with lots of cats, and she had a dog. I mean, she was a spoiled little princess. You know, she was. I mean, she grew up in a huge house. I mean, and she has. I mean, and she grew up in a huge house, and then she has like, and my grandfather had owned sheeps, and my aunt owned sheep, like that sheep.
Wow.
That, yeah, she grew up
So
as
it's
a
almost like
princess.
a farm in the house, like that.
Yeah, it's like he owned sheep and stuff. Like not sheep. SHEPP. SHIP. Ships.
Ships?
IP.
What?
Yes.
Ships?
Yeah.
What? Where does she have the ships lying around? Like,
yeah, she had dockyards and ship.
Oh my! Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I
wow.
say she grew up as a princess practically.
Cha.
And so it was, that's a whole different story. Like, because when people, there's something else I was gonna, that's why I said, collaboration between Bollywood, Hollywood, and South Asian countries are very important, because people automatically, when they see someone, from a different country, they automatically assume, okay, you probably didn't go to school over there, probably grew up in a hut, things, stuff like that.
Yeah, like in the Gaon, like in the villages, kind of urban environment. They think,
carrying straws on your head.
I mean, rural environment.
Yes, it is stereotyping, but but we had our own chauffeur. So when I was a little girl, we had our own chauffeur, and so and then my God, it was like so when I moved, there's a whole different like, okay, did you grow up in a hut? I was like, no, actually we had lots of employees, so, I mean, it was a long time back, about 25 years back, but still, whatever I remember. So it was like, it was very, I should say, it was like a very beautiful place. I with a lots of lots of great memories too. Not just lots of great memories too. I mean, of course, there is always gonna be, okay, like this better, that better compared to this country. That country I
Yeah.
like this better in that country. I like this better in this country. So there was always, there's always these things. But people, when you don't know something about somebody else's culture, you just automatically assume like, okay, this person probably grew up somewhere in a hut, probably didn't go to school, grew up in rags or something. It's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
stereotyping, the lots of stereotyping. But no, we actually had, grew up in in a very, we had some nice stuff.
Yeah.
I should say,
That's
IP
good.
ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Huh.
was really. Then my dad, he was a lawyer, so it was. So it was like we have seen some nice stuff growing up too.
Mm.
So it
Uh-huh.
was.
So
So
then, did you have like someone make chai for you every morning, or did your mother make chai every morning?
No, actually we had a housekeeper.
Ah,
Made
cha cha.
Now we make
Yeah.
our own chai.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right.
Now we make our own chai.
Yeah.
We make
Yeah.
our own chai. We cook our own dinner. But over there,
Mm.
it's very easy to get cooks and very easy to get
Right.
cooks, stuff like that.
Huh.
So I mean, it's very easy to get cooks, and it's the system, like there is very. I should say, it's easier to get lots of help, especially if someone is a cook, or if you need help like doing errands and stuff. It's labor over there. I mean, it has both. I guess it has both good side and bad sides. I should say,
Mm.
like, my grandfather used to give bonuses every month to good employees. So, but
Mhm.
not everyone is
Oh,
like
okay.
that. So yeah, so not
Huh.
everyone is like that though. I mean, so as I said, if you get a good employer, great. If you get a bad
Yeah. Huh.
employer,
Like that. Yeah.
yeah. So it is, some people. I guess there's in everywhere. You can get a bad boss or good boss, but yeah, my mom's side, my mom's side especially, she saw really some some nice things growing up. Ships going dockyards, and then those ships used to go out to Japan.
Wow. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, she used to go
Yeah.
to Japan and all that. So
Huh.
I was like, I used to feel awkward when I I was in Jersey before North Carolina, and when
Hmm.
people used to ask me strange questions sometimes, like like what? Really? You went to school? Sure. I'm like, no, you don't ask me questions. That's rude. That's rude.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
You went to school, you grew up
Oh
in
my
a
God.
hut. I bet you never saw an elevator in your entire life.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
and even the other day, this lady, not other day, it was like before the pandemic. This lady came up to me, and I was opening because my hands were dry. It was
Hmm.
dry, and I was a little having a hard time, a little bit opening a thank you bag, one of those
Hmm.
store bags, and this lady came up to me and asked me, oh, that's called a bag, right? And she was sweet. She was a little 90-year-old. She was sweet, but she
Acha.
actually asked,
Acha.
okay, do you need help opening the bag? Like, that's a bag, right? That's how
Oh
you
my
open it.
gosh. Yeah.
Then I said, no, that's called the plastic, and that's not biodegradable. And so I went, and my biologist side kicked
Yeah.
in. Oh, and then all the carbohydrates, that's very hard to, all the molecules there, they're very adhesive. And
Mhm.
then she was like, what? She was surprised, like, okay,
She
she's a
was like,
nurse.
"Oh, she knows a lot. She knows more about this than I thought." Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
she's a
okay.
nerd. She figured out I was a nerd.
She knows more than I do. Oh gosh.
Yeah, so she was like, okay.
Yeah.
I went into the whole biodegradation and whole the adhesiveness and whole the
Yeah.
science part of it. And then she was like, what? She was surprised. So it's one of those things as I'm now getting into that. Hopefully, when we get to work, in person in the future, you and I will be making short films more on that
Yes.
because, as I said, like before Hollywood and Bollywood discovers freelance artists and directors and actors like us, then we'll continue making our own stuff. And I'm sure one of these days we might even win an Oscar.
And then, inshallah, hopefully, yeah.
खुदा जाने खुदा
खुदा
जाने
जाने
खुदा चाहे तो सब कुछ संभव है सब कुछ है सब कुछ हो
सब कुछ
सकता
है
है कुछ भी हो सकती है
हाँ सब कुछ oh no सब अच्छी है, everything will be okay.
Yeah,
होता
right,
है जाने दो yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, as I was saying, I'm to the audience. I met Sean on Insta and also TikTok. So, as I was saying at the beginning of the show, I think you have the same handle, like Sean.
Yeah, across
TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. So it's easy to find for people to find out find out more about you, and also I also try to include that in the credits, so audience hopefully should check that out. And, now I would love to have you on the show again in the future because we'll have more work. The pandemic is coming to an end. Hopefully, or at least it's under control. At least in the States right now, it's coming to under control, and people will be we'll be able to make more art in the near future. Hopefully, the same situation takes place worldwide too. I know it's still challenging, especially in South Asian countries right now. It's challenging right now. The situation, it's from China. It now, unfortunately, it's spreading all across Asia, and it's hopefully and India and other countries are. We keep them in our prayers right now. But yes, hopefully we'll be able to make more art in person in the near future, and we'll make some comedies. Audience will be able to check that out and give us some jalabis, like the jalabi song.
Yeah.
Like the jalabis and no tomatoes. So we'll eat that. Jalabis, yes, we love jalabis. Jalabis and rasmalai.
Rasmalai, gulab jamun.
Yes, exactly.
Gulab jamun. Wait, do you like gulab jamun hot or tanned?
It depends. Like sometimes when you keep gulab jamun in the freezer, it gets kind of hard. But if it's like just the perfect amount of cold, then it's very very. It's just great to eat, especially in the summer season. But
yes.
But in the in the winter it gets you have to warm it.
Yeah.
Just like any sweet, just like any cake or something. You do just a little bit to get just thaw it out a bit. So it's just various ways, but as long as it's edible, it's like it whichever form it comes, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a sweet
like
tooth.
however it is.
I have a sweet tooth.
Especially like when I would do the dances during college at the Diwali and Gardaba events, and then they would have like cold gulab jamun, and then that would be just like so refreshing. That would just hit the spot after doing all the dances and then going right over, getting all the food like that. So when we dance, I guess we should have like ton gulab jamun on standby, or rasmalai. Yes,
exactly.
we could do that too.
Energy.
Yes.
Energy. That is our Popeye the Sailor Man has spinach. That is for us.
Yeah, spinach.
It's our spinach.
That's
Me
right.
take
Palak.
notes
Ha ha
right
ha.
there, you know.
Ah,
Then we start
gee.
dancing like the Khans and Hrithik
Yeah.
Roshan.
Ha ha. That's right.
Suddenly comes
So we'll
their
have the
energy.
rasmalai gulab
I
jamun on
think that's
standby.
what keeps them so young looking, you know, all the time, even in their 50s, they eat all those jalabis and gulab jamuns.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably have it like catering on
Maybe that
set.
is their
Yeah.
secret.
Uh,
You never know.
yeah, maybe. Shayad.
So, I guess we'll hopefully have you back in the show again. And thank you for being in this show. And we'll have you back again soon.
Huh? Sounds good. Get him.
Okay, I'll be
Yeah.
here for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Acha. Acha. Tu hai meri kiran. Tu hai meri kiran. Another catchy song. But
Lovely
yes.
song.
Anyway, sorry. Yes. Thank you, Bahut Dhanyavad, for having me on. And yes, I'm totally looking forward for us to finally get together very soon and make some really cool stuff. Sat sat.
Yes,
Huh?
exactly.
Hmm.
We'll take Hollywood and Bollywood by storm.
Haan ji. Yes. Chalo.
Yes,
Do it.
exactly. Storm is coming. A talented storm full of talent.
Hmm. So I couldn't help but notice this at the very beginning when you were doing the introduction, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to be rude and interrupt you, but I couldn't help but notice you're wearing lal earrings, lal blazer, lal shirt, and you're sitting on a lal couch. All you need, all you need now is a lal dupatta, hare lal dupatta, उड़ गया रे तेरा हवा के झोंके से, लाल दुपट्टा उड़ गया रे तेरा हवा के झोंके से, तुझको भी आने देख लिया हाय रे ढोंके से, मनक तुझे दिल देखा वो मगर अपने जान देगा वो, मनक तुझे दिल देखा वो मगर अपने जान देगा वो. शुक्रिया.
Welcome.